And so, since you like the other one, I managed to find another one. I think it was written before the other one, but yeah, it's a sort of similar theme. Once there was a girl who lived in a castle with her father and mother, and had everything she wanted. If she wanted amusement, court jesters were on hand to entertain. If she wanted to go riding, the lord's personal retinue were available to accompany her. If she wanted to eat, the kitchen had been told to prepare a meal for her any time, day or night. And if she wanted to write or paint, scribes and artists were on hand to advise and help. And yet she was not happy. In a far part of the country beyond the forest lived a knight who was kind, generous, thoughtful, and ready to help anyone that needed his help. Frequently, when out riding, he would come across people who needed his help, and after helping them, the people tried to offer him money or barter goods. But he declined, saying that their thanks was enough, but the knight was not happy. He pondered many things at length and determined that in order to be happy he must seek out his dreams. And so the knight rode for many a day through the country, passing through the forest, where he spent the night at an inn. One morning he arrived at the castle and rode up to the gate. He dismounted, and upon being hailed by the gatekeeper, inquired politely as to the possibility that he might find some work within the castle's walls. The gatekeeper admitted him, and while he was leading his horse towards the trough so that his mount might drink, he heard a loud commotion. The girl was arguing with the artisan who had designed a new sculpture just for her amusement, telling him it was all wrong and that he had better get it right or she would have words with her father. The knight tied his horse and walked around to see what the commotion was about. The girl, on seeing him, marched over and demanded to know his business. The knight bowed to her and said he had come to seek employment in some capacity. "Make me laugh, sir," the girl replied. "If you succeed, I shall reward you with gold coin and a place in my father's retinue that you may come riding with me from time to time." The knight thought for a moment. "Marry me," he said. The girl looked aghast at hearing this proposal. Then she smiled. Then she laughed. Then she laughed hard and long while the knight stood there, enduring her laughter. A crowd of people came and stared at him. The girl shouted that he had asked to marry her, a knight she had never seen before and did not know. The knight stood there patiently. "Oh, you have made me laugh," the girl said. "I shall give you 12 gold coins, and I shall use what influence I have to gain you a place in my father's guards." The knight replied, "I do not wish for money, nor do I wish to serve in the guards, for that would mean to serve you." "Not gold, nor employment," the girl said, surprised. "Your hand in marriage?" "No." "Then I shall ride away and wait in the forest until you have changed your mind." "I shall never change my mind." The knight bid his adieu and remounted and rode off to the forest to wait. The girl, who had forgotten the sculpture by now, walked back to her apartments and sat down to think. The knight was handsome, and her attention was caught by his proposal. 2 days and nights passed, and she found that when she slept she would dream of this foreign knight, and after 2 weeks she began to tire of having the same dream every night, in which the knight would ask her to marry him. So she rode out with the guard and came to visit the knight in the forest, but he was nowhere to be found. She asked at the inn if they had seen a knight, and they told her they had not, but not since the knight had stayed overnight on his journey to the castle. The girl became quite annoyed. Where was this knight? The following day she decided that the knight had hidden when he had seen her accompanied by the guards, and so she rode out alone one afternoon without telling anyone where she was going. A storm blew up, and she took shelter in the forest. She was frightened, and she heard strange noises from the beasts that lived in the forest. Then she heard the howl of wolves, and was terrified. She called out for help. The knight, who had been biding his time in the forest, heard her cries and rode hurriedly to find her. He also heard the wolves. Then he found her in a glade with the wolves approaching her, and rode through them to be by her side. He pulled his sword and handed his spare sword to the girl. They waited for the wolves to pounce, but only one wolf came forward. "A long while ago, when I was injured, you found me and rescued me, and brought me back to good health. For that kindness we will depart now, and not trouble you again." The wolf spoke. "Thank you," said the knight. The girl looked in amazement. "But you can speak with animals and beasts of the forest?" The knight smiled. "There is much you do not know about me, and yes, I may wish to marry you once we've come to know each other better, but still, I made you laugh." The girl sat down on the ground, and the storm raged overhead. "Tell me a story," she asked. And the night began. Once there was a girl who lived in a castle with her father and mother. Anyway, I hope you like that, and maybe I'll add some.